How's it going, everyone, and welcome to round 3 of my F2 2020 championship for the Spanish GP. Luckily, unlike the last one at Zandvoort, it's all dry this weekend, so heading out for the qualifying lap. I'll let you enjoy it. So as we head through the last few corners, currently in P10, but we get a great run out of the last turn, and on the run up to the line we managed to improve and just about take pole position for the feature race.
Fantastic, you've got pole.
If we look at the results, it's been a very close qualifying, just 0.016 from myself to Deruvle in P2, and the top 7 covered by less than a tenth of a second. So looking at that, it should hopefully be a pretty close feature race, which we'll get to right now.
Welcome to the circuit to Barcelona, Catalonia, here in Spain, for what is expected to be a very closely contested race. Here's the venue we'll be racing at, known to the teams, well known to the drivers. Many will have raced here as teenagers. We've got 16 turns, the elevation of 30 metres, and some famous moments down through the years.
So as we wait for the lights to build up for the feature race, the lights go out and get a poor start compared to the other drivers around us, because we're actually on the hard tyres whereas everyone else is on the softs. So I'm doing the alternate strategy for this race. Drop down to third place, fighting Drugovic into turn 1 to stay in third, but Lundgaard and Deruvle get ahead of us in the first sequence of corners. And now just want to try and stay as close to those two as I can, so that the advantage I have on the soft tyres when I pit, I'll be able to fight them. On the end of lap 2, we've dropped out of a second of the cars ahead, and we're coming under pressure from Drugovic behind. Defend to the inside, moving back to the racing line, squeezing them to the outside at the inside for turn 1, and for now we managed to remain in P3. On to the end of lap 3, on to lap 4, we're after dropping well back from Lundgaard ahead. This time with the RS, Drugovic behind is going to get a good run on us, try to defend to the inside, and once again, like last time, Drugovic goes to the outside. We have the inside for turn 1, and once again we managed to just stay ahead of the Brazilian for now. Skipping on to lap 6, going through sector 3, we completely lose the back end through this left-hander, go very wide, just about managed to stay out of gravel and just stay ahead of Drugovic behind. But we're very lucky there to stay in the position we're in and not completely lose the car. As you can see there on the replay, just hitting the curb too much, half spins the car almost, and yeah, just about stay out of gravel and stay in third position for now. But skipping again ahead on to lap 8, we set a new personal best as we've taken the lead with everyone else after pitting for hards. Lap 12 we set another personal best, and on lap 13 we decide to come in for our pit stop onto the soft tyre. See there, tyre wear on the front left is very harsh around this track with all the high speed understeery right handers. But coming out of the pits on the new soft tyres, Tictum sets a new fast lap of the race. As we're coming out, Djokovic gets the undercut on us, and we're just about going to stay ahead of Tictum. Into turn 1 we're side by side, but on my fresh softer tyres we managed to hold it around the outside turn 2, and then for the inside turn 3 we stay ahead of the damaged driver and in 4th position. At the end of lap 14 we're after getting into the DRS of Djokovic in the slipstream, and this should hopefully be a pretty easy overtake. We go to the outside, take the racing line into turn 1, try and go around the outside, but Djokovic holds it on the inside, and for now we have to hold position. But I go really wide, try and get a good exit, and hopefully try and challenge into turn 4. But on this occasion can't do anything, had us little up, but decide to hold position for now and try and get past on the next lap. Then on to the next lap again. With the RS we're closer now this time than we were in the last lap, and this time it's a very easy overtake. Djokovic decides to hold the racing line, we go around the outside, inside for turn 1, and we get the move done, and that's us up into 3rd place, and with just 3 laps left, 4 seconds to the cars ahead. Don't think we're going to be able to make any more positions, but we set new fast lap on lap 17 as this happens, so yeah, that's good to see. Now just get back to the things people want to see, the actual racing with decent drivers. On to the last lap, there's a yellow flag ahead, so I don't know if that's the leaders after coming together, but down into turn 1, Lundgaard sideways on the apex of the corner, saw that very late, and that's why I swerved out so late, almost hitting the ART driver. You see in the replay with the RS open, I think he tried to go to the inside of the Ruvula and then switch to the outside, and with the DRS open just lost the back end and spun the car, and then for some reason, I don't know what the AI was thinking here, but just sits in the middle of the track, lets every other car go past him, and I can say that after this he was down in 20th place, so second last of the drivers that were actually running. As you can see there, he just lost the back end with DRS open, and that was the end of his race. Coming around the last turn then, on the last lap, managed to recover to 2nd place, with Ruvula taking the win in this feature race.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
There you have it, today's winners. Having raised some of the biggest names in F1 to date, Carlin have once again shown their expertise when it comes to recruiting new talent. No doubt today's winners have a bright future ahead of them. They certainly deserve it after today's performance.
So Ruvula takes the win with me in 2nd place with the fastest lap, so 20 points. Djokovic rounds out the podium, followed by Tictum, Schumacher, Aitken, Markelov, with Zhou getting the P8 for a reverse grid pole. Then Schwartzman and Marcus Armstrong round out the points. But as we go to the lights for the sprint race from 7th place, lights go out and we get an okay start, not the best, as we're overtaken by Ruvula that started behind. Coming under pressure from Schwartzman into the first turn, managed to brake very late, go down the inside of Ruvula, but he holds the position for the inside of turn 2. So on the first few corners we managed to just lose 1 position. Through turn 3 we get a much better run than the Carlin driver. Into turn 4 we're kind of alongside, but we dive up the inside anyway and get back to the position that we started this race in. Tried to have a look around the outside of hairpin on Tictum, but couldn't do anything there. Lock up a bit and go a bit wide, and the British driver holds position for now. Later on lap 1 then, on this what would be the 2nd DRS straight, we brake, wouldn't even call it a dive, but we brake later than Tictum and managed to get down the inside of this left-hander and move ourselves up a position on the first lap. So pretty good start, and can definitely build on this for the rest of the race. Middle of lap 2 now, we're up behind Schumacher, and through turn 9 we get a much better run than the Germans, side by side into turn 10. Have the outside here, but Schumacher holds it well on the inside, side by side through this left-hander, which not really usually an overtaking space. but through the hairpin we just get the job done and up into P5. Set fastest lap on lap 4 onto lap 4, so good pace trying to catch up on the cars ahead. Set another fastest lap on lap 5, and again on lap 6 as we're now in the DRS with Djokovic ahead. Towards the end of that lap, then lap 6, where we're going through the last turn, we have a big moment, so unfortunately that ruins any chance we have of making an overtake on this lap. On to lap 8 then, we get a better exit than the last clip out of the last turn, and with DRS and slipstream against Djokovic, go to the outside, but that allows him to have the inside for turn 1, and he holds it well around the outside of turn 2, it gives the inside turn 3. Boy really slow down, get the undercut on the Brazilian, and manage to get a much better drive towards turn 4 and move up into 4th place. The MP Motorsport driver down position. And as that happens, Sean Galale has some sort of mechanical issue, and I think this is the 3rd race this season he's retired, so really unlucky for the Indonesian driver. And then almost a lap later, as we're on the pit straight, you can see his car still there on the left hand side, very close to the racing line, so I'm kind of surprised there wasn't a safety car or VSC for that. But anyway, on to lap 12, going on to the last lap of the race. We're after catching up to Aiken in his DRS, but not really able to make any sort of gains on him because he has DRS to the cars ahead. Brake late into turn 1, almost run into the back of the campus as Marcus Armstrong sets the fastest lap of the race. Through turn 3 we try and get a good run like we did against Djokovic on Aiken, but couldn't do anything on this occasion. Into turn 4, try again, take a wide line, tighter exit, get more momentum towards the hairpin off turn 5. Aiken has the inside, so going to try and go around the outside, but unfortunately couldn't do anything, and Aiken holds the last podium position for now. Defends into the next turn, but unfortunately couldn't get anything done here, and we remain in P4. And as we head around the final turn for the last time, our teammate Guan Yushu takes the win, and we come home for a very solid P4 from P7 on the grid.
Take care of the car on the way in.
All want to be. Here come the top 3 then, out onto the podium after a fascinating race.
So as I said, Joe takes the win with Mark Ilott in second, with Aiken round at the podium. I come home in P4 ahead of Djokovic, Ticktum, Druvla and Schwartzman rounding out the points in this sprint race. Looking at the weekend results then, we take the most points ahead of Druvla and Djokovic. Joe gets a good return with 19 points. And with the Team Drivers' Championship, they extend their lead over Mark Ilott, with Druvla moving up into 3rd and Schumacher in 4th. And then in the Teams Championship, UNI Virtuosi remain in the lead over MP Motorsport. But that's all for this one. Until the next one at the Monaco Grand Prix, thanks for watching.